Welcome to the show. This is Soccer Now with myself, Samuel Reese, coming to you. Is doing good today, and a lot to talk about today. I'll get right into everything we will be discussing on today's show. Let's start off with a manager merry-go-round in Manchester. Man United has been reported that to target Zinedine Zidane to replace Jose Mourinho. Big news there, and I'll definitely be discussing that. Could that be true? I don't know. But anyway, Jose Mourinho had comments on his Man United squad saying, "We go with everything we have to the Premier League." Also, Jose Mourinho is a maybe in Manchester because the position has reportedly been put in doubt during preseason. Very interesting. Here's Sky Bet's next manager to go. Puel of Leicester City has 9-2 odds. Mourinho of Man United with 5-1 odds. Garcia of Watford with 7-1 odds. Warnock of Cardiff City with 10-1 odds. And Benitez of Newcastle also with 10-1 odds, courtesy of Sky Bet. So a little surprising there. Here's Jose Mourinho after Inter. He won the Copa del Rey in 2010 and 11. Won the La Liga Santander 2011 and 12, and won the Spanish Super Cup in 2012 and 13 with Real Madrid. Then with Chelsea, he was the Premier League champ in 2014 and 15. Won the EFL Cup in 2014-15. And then, of course, with Man United, he won the Europa League in 2016 and 17, and the EFL Cup in 2016 and 17 also. So we asked you to vote. We said, where will Man United finish this EPL season? 14% said champs, 45% said top four, and 41% said disaster. So we'll be reacting to those votes. Also, there were Champions League qualifiers leg 2 yesterday. FC Midtjylland tied FC Astana 0-0. FK Karabag beat FK Kukesi 3-0. Malmo FF tied CFR Cluj 1-1. FK Seduva lost to Red Star Belgrade 2-0. FC Basel lost to PAOK Salonika 3-0. Molvidi FC beat Ludo Goretz Razgrad 1-0. SK Sturm Graz lost to Ajax 3-1. Rosenborg BK tied Celtic 0-0. And HJK Helsinki lost to Bate Borisov 2-1. Also, PSG has landed in Shenzhen, China for the Trophée de Champion match Saturday against Monaco. Remember, the Trophée de Champion is live on beIN Sports and Espanol. PSG takes on Monaco Saturday at 7:55 a.m. Eastern Time, 4:55 a.m. Pacific Time on beIN Sports NY. Also, we'll be talking about the top 5 transfer tracker stories. 5 is that Luis Felipe Scolari has been named the new Palmeiras coach. Also, 4, Man United are eyeing Mateo Kovacic. 3, Inter has contacted Luka Modric's agents. 2, Joaquin Correa has signed with Lazio. And 1, Lucas Digne has signed with Everton. So we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, more Jose Mourinho. He talked about Sir Alex Ferguson's recovery, saying the club and everyone is happy he is okay. Also, he spoke on England's future, saying England in 4 years is going to be better. Also, Arsenal did play Chelsea yesterday in the ICC from Dublin, Ireland. Final score, Arsenal won, Chelsea won. Arsenal 6-5 in a penalty shootout. We'll also look at the Chelsea 2018-19 Summer Spotlight, as Mauricio Sarri is to make his EPL debut with Chelsea. So who exactly is Mauricio Sarri? I bet a lot of people want to know. Of course, he's been with Chelsea just from July of 2018 to present. He was with Napoli from 2015 to 2018, with Empoli from 2012 to 2015, with Sorrento from July of 2011 to December of 2011, 2010 to 2011. So kind of coming up from the bottom to the top, really. Going back to the Summer Spotlight, the Blues finished 5th in the EPL table last season, so we'll talk about what they can do to make that better this year. Here's Phil Shane of beIN Sports, his starting 11 for Chelsea. He has Courtois in goal, Alonso at left back, Rudiger at left center back, Christensen at right center back, Azpilicueta at right back, Fabregas at left, Hazard at left forward, Batshuayi at center forward, and Willian at right forward. So I'll be talking about that lineup. Also, we'll be discussing some hot topics lately. One funny thing that I want to mention is was yesterday the closest Gonzalo Higuain and Cristiano Ronaldo will get on a pitch as they practice together, because it might as well really be true. Also, should the MLS reconsider the All-Star Game format? We'll also be talking about that game and the format they are currently in. And lastly, does FC Barcelona not know what to do with its roster? I'll be answering that myself later in the show. So that's everything we're going to get to today. A lot, really, to discuss on today's show. But let's get right started with all the news. First of all, could it be true that Man United are really targeting Zinedine Zidane to replace Jose Mourinho? Really interesting it would be. We know that Jose Mourinho has been grumpy lately and not too happy with everything going on in Manchester. But is it really frustrating Man United right now? Because could Jose Mourinho be on his way out? And could Zinedine Zidane, out of all managers, be the new guy there, as he just left Real Madrid and now is, I believe, working somehow with Juventus, I believe the director of coaching or something along those lines. Anyway, but could that be true? I mean, what a story that is coming out, because it seemed like definitely Jose Mourinho would be the coach this year for sure. Nobody was quite debating that. And out of nowhere, really, it seems like Man United maybe will get Zinedine Zidane as their new coach. And also interesting on the side of Zidane, because a lot of people thought he wouldn't really be coaching anymore. He left Real Madrid to stop coaching. But could he be the new man in Manchester? What a move! What a story that is. I mean, a hot topic. And my question is, how quick would Jose be out if that really did happen? Because the season starts in 8 days for Man United anyway. So a lot to discuss there. I don't know if it's all fake or something, but it's what we're hearing, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, Jose Mourinho on his Man United squad said, "We go with everything we have to the Premier League." So a little more complaining about players he doesn't have in preseason. Basically saying that he's going to go into the Premier League. More like, even without the signings he's got, he's going to have to deal with it and go into the Premier League. Anyway, it's at least he's realizing that he's maybe won't get all the players he really wanted to. Maybe with those reports that Zidane might come in, he'll not moan as much, but who knows? Who knows with Jose? Anyway, definitely interesting news in Manchester. One of Manchester United in a little bit of, not chaos now, but a lot of news there cutting into the season. But anyway, Jose Mourinho is now a maybe in Manchester, because the position has reportedly been put in doubt during preseason. So going back to that, it's crazy, because now everyone's saying that he won't be the coach at Man United after this preseason. Excuse me. And what news that is, because Jose Mourinho, he's obviously been a little grumpier the last couple years, I guess. But anyway, he's still a legendary coach. Everything he's done, it's crazy to see that he could be on his way out, and that his coaching position really is in doubt heading into this season. And what a crazy story. That could be having huge impact on Man United if Jose Mourinho was on his way out and Zinedine Zidane went. And as we saw how a lot of would say it affected Spain in their World Cup, with Lopetegui being fired at the last second and Fernando Hierro coming in, could be the same type of situation with Zidane, although if Zidane did come into Man United, he would have a little more time to settle in, as it's not a 7-game tournament. If you went to the final, this is 38 games throughout the whole season. But anyway, definitely crazy news. But you would wonder if Zidane did come in, it would take a little while for him to adjust to a new team. But would he adjust quick enough to get that team on track to winning the Premier League, or at least battling with the top clubs like we'd expect Man City and Liverpool and others to be up there? But definitely a lot of big news heading into this Man United season. Also, surprisingly, this is Sky Bet's next manager to go, as I mentioned. Puel of Leicester City does have the best odds to be fired, but Mourinho with the second best odds at 5-1, which are pretty good odds to get fired, if you ask me. But he's the second in the Premier League. He is the second highest odds to get fired, which is to get sacked, as they would say there, which is crazy, really. So it does seem like Mourinho under a lot of pressure. And who knows, he might as well be out of Manchester United, and who knows where he'd be next if that were to happen. Here's Jose Mourinho after Inter. Hasn't been successful as he was with Inter and before then, but still he's won trophies. With Real Madrid, won Copa del Rey, La Liga, Spanish Super Cup. With Chelsea, won the Premier League and the EFL Cup. And with Man United so far has won the Europa League, EFL Cup. So pretty impressive still for Jose Mourinho. So you gotta wonder how bad he's been to possibly get sacked by Man United or bring Zidane in, because that is crazy news heading into this 2018 and 19 Premier League season. But we'll see. It's possibly true that none of this could happen. But what news that is. Also, we asked you, where will Man United finish this EPL season? 14% said champs, 45% top four, and 41% disaster. So top four and disaster is quite different outcomes, but very close in votes. Top four just edging it out by a little bit. So most of you, half of you anyway, at least, said that they will finish in top four. So really, top four would be all right for them considering the situation they're in, but definitely want to finish higher than that. But we really should ask, what will Man United fans be satisfied with this season? Anyway, 41% did say disaster. So who knows? Maybe it's a disaster waiting to happen at Manchester. Like we could possibly see it very well. It might happen. But yeah. So for all you Man United fans, I definitely want to know what are you thinking, because it's a lot of chaos going on there right now. So what do you fans of Manchester United think heading into this season, and what would you be satisfied with all the drama going on there? Anyway, moving on from all of that craziness, let's talk about Champions League qualifiers leg 2. This was second leg. Midtjylland tied Astana. Karabag beating Kukesi. So Karabag moving on. Malmo tied Cluj. Red Star Belgrade moving on, winning over Saduva. Hauk, by the way, beating Basel in Switzerland 3-0, moving on to the third qualifying round. Vidi beat Ludogorets, somewhat of an upset, really. And with Ajax beating Sturm Graz, probably expected, they're moving on. Rosenborg tied Celtic, and Bate Borisov beating Helsinki 2-1. So exciting qualification. Now, next is the last round of qualification, the third round, where the likes of Benfica and clubs like those will come in, and the winners of these clubs will face them. So yeah, exciting. Next week will be the start of the third round of qualifying, and then after that we'll be right into the group stage of the Champions League. The draw coming out in a couple weeks' time, I believe. Not sure exactly when. Anyway, PSG has landed in Shenzhen, China. That's where the Trophée de Champion will be for their match Saturday against Monaco. So that's probably when we'll see some of the big names, if not all the big names of PSG and Monaco, even with the likes of Falcao and all taking place, which will be a fun game in the French Super Cup, basically, the Trophée de Champion. Anyway, definitely something to look forward to this weekend, as that game will take place in China for the French Cup. So remember, that game is live on beIN Sports Saturday, 7:55 a.m. Eastern Time, 4:55 a.m. Pacific Time. beIN Sports in Espanol. That is me personally. I don't have beIN Sports Spanish channel, just the regular beIN Sports in English. So I think they're showing the game on replay later in the day. So if you want to catch that, definitely watch that. That will definitely be an exciting game, I'd say. So also the top 5 transfer tracker stories. We'll be talking about that now. Luis Felipe Scolari has been named the new Palmeiras coach, as he was last in China coaching, but now it looks like he has a place in Brazil, the new coach there. So good to see Luis Felipe Scolari getting a job there. Of course, we all know him from coaching Brazil. And he's off to coaching Palmeiras in Brazil, one of Brazil's best clubs and most known clubs. So interesting there and exciting to see, definitely. Also, Man United are eyeing Mateo Kovacic, although definitely seems like Man United wants Kovacic, but does Kovacic want to go to Man United is the question. Seems like, based on reports, that he does not want to leave Real Madrid. And he said that he doesn't think he'll fit into Jose Mourinho's playing style and doesn't like playing the way Jose Mourinho would want him to. So we've heard that often now. But anyway, looks like Kovacic will stay at Man United, despite Man United wanting Kovacic to come to England. But anyway, seems like Kovacic will stay at Real Madrid. Also, Inter have contacted Modric's agents, which is very interesting. We got to think that with Modric having a great World Cup, he'd want to stay at Real Madrid. He has a key role in that team, really. And you wouldn't think Real Madrid would let go of Modric and let him go to Inter, because he'll be a key part of that team this season, because with Ronaldo leaving, a new coach, and also. So you got to think Modric will be staying at Real Madrid. A little bit surprised, for me anyway, that Inter have contacted his agents. Also, Joaquin Correa has signed with Lazio, so a big move for Correa, as Pedro might go to Lazio. Who knows? Possibly he might go, but anyway, that could Lazio picking up some pretty good players. Of course, Milinkovic-Savic there. So we'll see how they do in Serie A this season, especially with the pickup of Correa. Also, lastly, Lucas Digne has signed with Everton. So it's official. Lucas Digne on Everton. A big signing for Everton, I think. A talented player in Digne, as he was with Barca, but has gone to Everton. Really interested to see how Everton does, especially if they keep Pickford. Really depends all with what happens with Courtois. But it will be interesting to see how that all goes with Digne at Everton. Also, going back to Jose Mourinho, he said the club and everyone is happy he is okay. Speaking of Sir Alex Ferguson's recovery. So good to see the great Sir Alex Ferguson recovered. And good to see Jose Mourinho saying that the whole Manchester United club and everyone at the club is happy he is all right. Also, on England's future, he said England in 4 years is going to be better, which could definitely be true, because as we saw in this World Cup, they had some great young players. You can't deny that. And you think in 4 years they're going to get even better. I would definitely think so. So England, the team to look at the next World Cup. It's in a while, but we'll have to wait even an extra half year with the next World Cup being in winter, unfortunately. But yeah, definitely something to look forward to with that England squad. Also, Arsenal did play Chelsea in the ICC in Dublin, Ireland. It was 1-1 with Arsenal winning 6-5 in a penalty shootout. I actually did watch that game. It was a great game, really. It was a pretty good game. Chelsea scored early on. It was Rudiger on a header from a corner kick. And then Morata actually missed a penalty kick, which would become vital later on because Arsenal tied it up in the 93rd minute with a Lacazette goal late, the last kick of the game, really. And then it went to penalty kicks. 6-5. It was a fun game in Ireland in the ICC. There were some starters out there too, some good players. Although late in the second half they put in a lot of youngsters, but good to see. Of course, still a rivalry no matter what. Chelsea Arsenal, the London derby, of course. But so yeah, good ICC action there. Also, speaking of Chelsea, we'll take a 2018-19 summer spotlight with them. Maurizio Sarri is to make his EPL debut with Chelsea. He's now coached them in 2 games, and so far it's looked pretty decent. But what do you guys really think about Sarri? Because a lot of people didn't really know him before the season started, and it's definitely interesting to see how he'll do with Chelsea this season because it's a new coach, another Italian. Chelsea has been getting Italians with Conte leaving and Sarri coming in, but it's definitely a lot of people anyway have been saying that he's actually a pretty good coach and they see Chelsea having success this season. Could they even finish in the top 4? I mean, with Maurizio Sarri coming in, he's never won a trophy, but came close with the Napoli side, especially last year, almost passing Juventus, almost getting first place over Juventus, but it came down to the wire, and at the end, Juventus came out as the champions. But anyway, definitely interesting times for Chelsea and Maurizio Sarri. Also, a lot of you don't know exactly who he is. He's at Chelsea now, obviously. He was last at Napoli for 4 years. He was at Empoli before that for 3 years. Sorrento for just a few months, and Alessandria for a year before that. So he's really made his way up the ranks. But Napoli really the big club he's coached before coming to Chelsea. Before that with Empoli in the second division, and then lower teams Sorrento and Alessandria. But anyway, we'll see how he does because a lot of people don't know exactly who he is, and yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, the Blues did finish 5th in the EPL table last season. So how do we think they'll finish this upcoming season? Because there's definitely Man City, Liverpool. You'd expect them to finish top 2, definitely. Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man United are definitely the other 3 that you don't know, along with Chelsea. So that's 6. So which ones do you think will finish in the top 4? I think Chelsea might finish in 4th place and get that Champions League spot, but we'll definitely have to wait and see. But with Chelsea, me personally, I think Maurizio Sarri will have success in his first season. I think he has the right coaching style at the club to get them to finish in the top 4, and hopefully he'll change things around in the club. First of all, the most important part, really, changing the environment in that locker room and all with those players. Anyway, it'll definitely be interesting to see how Chelsea does this Premier League season. Here's Phil Shane of beIN Sports' starting 11. He has Courtois in net, Alonso, Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta in the back, Fabregas, Conte, Jorginho in the midfield, and Hazard, Batshuayi, and Willian at top. Courtois in net, that is, of course, as of right now. He's still he's still at Chelsea. He's still part of the squad. We'll see if he leaves to Real Madrid, but as of now, Courtois in net. But also a same back line as last year. Jorginho, of course, the new pickup. He'll be the playmaker really in that Chelsea midfield. I'm definitely looking forward to Jorginho. As a Chelsea fan myself, I'm looking forward to see how Jorginho does with Chelsea because I think he'll find success there. He's a great player. Anyway, he does have Batshuayi up top instead of Morata. Batshuayi definitely he was on loan at Dortmund, back with Chelsea, and he definitely did pretty good with Dortmund while he was on loan. So that's the main reason probably why Chelsea did bring him back. And he's definitely been good. He can create opportunities and find ways to score. And with Willian and Hazard on each side, on each wing, it's a good Chelsea squad. Can they just put it together? They did 2 years ago when they won the Premier League. And last year, things just fell apart with pretty much the same exact club, the same exact team. And, of course, Conte in that midfield. Fabregas, the man with experience. It's a good Chelsea squad. And they should, if everything goes the right way with Mauricio Sarri as the new coach, things should. Also, Gonzalo Higuain and Cristiano Ronaldo is that the closest they'll get on the pitch, as yesterday they trained together and took a picture because Gonzalo Higuain, it's not official yet, but it looks like he has gone to AC Milan. It's not official. Looks like Bonucci has gone back to Juventus and Gonzalo Higuain to AC Milan. So it's absolutely true. Pretty funny, too. But anyway, that's something to laugh about. Anyway, should the MLS reconsider the All-Star game format? Definitely a question if they should do East versus West. But it really is playing against a big European club, all about the money. And each time they do beat those clubs, it shows that U.S. soccer is getting better and better in quality. And speaking of the MLS All-Star Game, they did tie Juventus 1-1. Joseph Martinez scoring once again, just like goal scorer does, really, but in his home stadium at Atlanta. Unfortunately, they did lose in penalty kicks, but really a tie because Bradley Wright Phillips, the only one to miss his penalty kick, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a fun game, and the atmosphere was crazy. 70,000 fans. We'll be talking a little bit more about that game on tomorrow's show as we're running out of time. Anyway, it was definitely fun to see that because Juventus probably thought they were at a Champions League final. It was a crazy atmosphere, something you really want to see, especially in the city of Atlanta, as they weren't a soccer city at all about 18 months ago, and now it's crazy. Right in the heart of SEC football, you see soccer fans. All they want to talk about is Atlanta United, and it's great to see in this country. Also, lastly, does FC Barcelona not know what to do with its roster, as they've really been all over the place? I don't think so. I think they know what they're doing. They're Barcelona. I feel like they're going to win La Liga this season once again, unfortunately, as a Real Madrid fan. But I have to tell the truth. I do think Barcelona will win. Will win La Liga, and I think they're fine with their roster, doing everything all right, and looking forward to the La Liga season. Also, to close out the show, no ICC games today, but there is a Tournament of Nations, the U.S. women's national team taking on Brazil in the last game of the tournament. Them and Australia are both 4 points tied on goal differential, so it'll come down to that last game with first place taking home the trophy. But that will be on Fox Sports 1, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Hope you enjoyed this show, and we'll see you tomorrow, the last show of this week, and have a great rest of the day. See you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.